Hey y'all, HERO6 here, and I've got the GoPro HERO6 Black, and I want to give you my first impressions. Now, I've charged the battery for the first time, and wanted to talk about this from the perspective of a long-term GoPro user. I started with GoPro Hero 2. I've had all the GoPro cameras, GoPro Hero 2 through present. Now, when you look at the GoPro HERO6 Black, you're probably going to think, man, that looks very similar cosmetically to the GoPro Hero 5 Black, and it does. This housing that it's in right here is highly water resistant without a case. Again, check the specs because you don't want to go too deep and potentially ruin your GoPro. But from a design perspective, so this is the camera right here without any sort of mount or anything on it. This is the case that, now this doesn't add any additional water resistance or anything, but it's the case that came with my GoPro. Check the link within this video's description. You can find where to order this GoPro online, as well as various other field test videos that I posted, etc. But with this case right here, you can mount it to most any of your GoPro mounts. That's one of my favorite things about GoPro, is that, you know, being a user since GoPro Hero 2, I've accumulated tons of GoPro mounts, and most of those mounts will still work with this GoPro, the GoPro HERO6 Black. So that's really cool. I don't have to re-buy mounts because I've got a new camera. That's great. With this case, it's easy to get to the stop, start, record button, also the mode button on the side. And if you weren't filming in a watery environment, you would choose to leave that side door off, and there's a cutout, so if you wanted to charge, you know, maybe you're filming from a monopod, etc., it makes that convenient. But let's take this out of the little case here, and you'll see how that latches back, and then the GoPro can just fall out the rear. Well, it doesn't just fall out, it's fitted very nicely. So one minor challenge I had when I first opened the GoPro HERO6 Black was that this bottom door where the battery is, and also the micro SD card, it was a little bit challenging to close the first time. But after using it, you know, like most anything else, after one opens it for a few times, it easily opens and closes. And that's important. You don't want it to open too easily, because if you were in the water, that could open and it could potentially ruin your GoPro. Again, this the HERO6 Black has a touchscreen on the back. You can see it there, and that's handy. Although most applications, when I'm filming with GoPro, if I want to use a touchscreen, I'm probably going to do it before, like I did with my previous Hero 5 session. What I would do is I would pull out my smartphone, I would have it paired with the GoPro, and then I would confirm that I have it mounted at the optimal angle for filming, and then I wouldn't look at it. So there's seldom do I use the viewfinder on the back, but for a lot of people that's important, because a lot of people are accustomed to a camera or a camcorder that has that capability. So it's nice that the GoPro HERO6 Black has that capability for people that may want to use it. But it's a nice touch interface for configuring the camera, but ultimately what I recommend doing is pairing with the GoPro app. Check my other video out where I explain how I did that, but pairing with the GoPro app, and then you can just do it all through the app interface from your smartphone. Not saying that the touchscreen's not intuitive, because it is, but I just prefer the smartphone interface. One of the cool things about the HERO6 Black is that it does have GPS. That's a gripe I've had with some other cameras, you know, including this camera that I'm filming this video with. It doesn't have GPS capabilities. I love to tag where I filmed a video, where I shot a photo. So now I'll use the GoPro primarily for video, but for people that use it for photos, that's nice to have that functionality. The biggest selling point for me with the HERO6 Black was the 4K 60. Now, why is that significant? Well, with GoPro especially, you know, you're getting these cool action shots, fascinating environments, and it's great to be able to capture that. But then when the real thrill, in my opinion, with the GoPro is when, I'm going to turn it off so I can conserve my battery. Something else I'll test after I use it more is how good is the battery life. But yeah, something that's cool with GoPro is filming that content, taking it back to the studio, downloading it, and then editing it. Now the 4K 60 is important in comparison to 4K 30, because the 4K 60 that the HERO6 Black brings to the table makes retime videos look better. So say for example I'm in a race car or a speedboat and I've got my GoPro mounted. I'm filming that video. But then when I download that video to my computer, I want to slow it down. So instead of going, let's say, 75 miles per hour in a speedboat, when I slow it down, it looks like I'm just creeping. I'm creeping along. But the thing is, if that video had been filmed in 4K 30 instead of 4K 60, when I slowed that video down, it probably wouldn't look as smooth. And that's why the extra frames per second, the 4K 60, is so important. So to have the capability of 4K 60 frames per second video within such a small package, that's a game changer. I don't even have that on the Sony Alpha camera that I'm filming this video with. I mean, this camera's great quality by all means, but it's not in 4K 60. But this sucker right here will do 4K 60. One of the other things, the thing on the side here, you push this down, you pull it out. Again, I like how they make these side doors latch in so well, because ultimately someone would probably be using this camera in the water. So on the side you find your USB-C, which is used for charging and syncing the camera if you choose to do that, versus taking out the micro SD card and inserting it into your computer directly. And it's also got a little bitty HDMI port. So, you know, USB-C, HDMI port. Again, in this area right here, you've got your battery and you've got your micro SD card. So it's to be as small as it is, it's a very, in my opinion, a very nice design. You know, something that one may have grown to expect if they've used a lot of GoPros like I have. You know, it's just a really quality product from my experience. The customer service, although I haven't had to engage them much at all from GoPro Hero 2 through present, they've always been super friendly and super knowledgeable. And they're always like, well, what else can I do? You know, it's not just like, oh, well, you're fixed, bye. Super good support. So, you know, I love this camera and I can't wait to spend more time with it. I just wanted to post my first impressions of the GoPro HERO6 Black right out of the, charged the battery, rushed out into the wilderness, and going to capture a lot of content now, but I wanted to film this video first. So check the link within this video's description to find the camera and my various field test videos and a whole lot more. And if there's something you would like me to test, shoot me a message. The best way to get me is facebook.com/irixguy, and I'll see if I can whip up a video for that topic. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. youtube.com/irixguy. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, irixguy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.